Hey guys, it's Kimberly here, back with you for another creepy storytelling. And this week I am going to be reading a story called The Climb. And as soon as I saw it, I just started singing The Climb by Miley Cyrus, and ever since it's been stuck in my head. But yeah, I'm gonna read this story for you. And as always, I will leave the link of the story in the description if you would like to follow along, read beforehand, afterhand, whatever you like. And let's just get right into this story. "I want you to kill her," the voice echoed, low, monotonic, unwavering. In front of me was my mother, crucified haphazardly upon a ramshackled wooden cross. Rivets were driven into each palm, with rope fastening in place around her ankles and shoulders to keep her in position. Her eyes, red and cracked from exposure, pulled open by tape to reveal pupils dilated with fear. Her mouth was sewn shut, muffling her tired pleas. "This is hardly in existence," the voice licked. I surveyed my surroundings. I was in a small square room with metal walls no larger than my studio apartment. The roof, however, was missing, replaced by an empty void that seemed to stretch endlessly into the darkness above. About 5 feet in front of me was my mother, withering weakly against her restraints. 5 feet behind her, an impossibly tall ladder stretching into the abyss. "What are you waiting for? As if you care," the voice prompted. Who was talking? Where was this voice coming from? Its warm presence swallowed me like a warm blanket. In one swift urge, the gravity of the situation dawned on me. I didn't know where I was. I didn't like being lost. I felt the kick of adrenaline in my bloodstream, my heart beating against my ribcage, my hands clammy. I clenched them repeatedly. Open, close, open, close. I needed to get out of here. End her. My gaze dashed to the right-hand side to find a surgical stand stocked full of pain-inflicting paraphernalia. A knife, a rope, a pistol, razor blades, full needles, strange pills, and powder. An arsenal fit to maim, disfigure, and destroy. I reached for the razor blade. I could cut the stitching of my mom's mouth, garner some insight into what the fuck was going on. My mom always knew what was going on. With the razor blade in hand, I walked gingerly up to my mother, whose eyes lit up as I approached. And through all the pain, tears, and stitches, as I drew closer, she smiled. I held up my left hand to coddle my mother's face, with the razor blade still pinched in my right. As she nuzzled her face into my palm, I cracked. I wept harder than I'd ever wept before. Full-bodied, racking sobs crashed over me, because it didn't matter how bad anything got. It didn't matter how broken the situation or how broken the person. My mother was just happy I was there. I steadied myself and lifted up my right hand, trembling as I drew closer to her face, ready to pick away at the stitches to the best of my ability. The first few snapped, then the next, until all the stitches had been split and I had liberated her mouth from its cage. I exhaled raggedly, leaning back to look deeply in my mother's eyes. "Mom?" But as tears fell down her cheeks through her warm, loving smile, she uttered one word. "Climb." I peered past her, towards the ladder, then looked back towards her for reassurance. Took a slow, simple nod to realize this is what I had to do. And as I walked slowly towards the ladder, she murmured one last thing. "I love you." "I love you too, Mom." I never said that enough. Then, with razor blade still in hand, I climbed. I climbed with determination. I climbed for what seemed like hours. I climbed past broken rungs, and even when I was tired, I kept on climbing. I cried as I climbed, but I pushed through it, with snot dribbling down my chin and tears clouding my vision. I reminisced as I climbed. I climbed through good memories. I climbed through bad memories. I climbed through the time when I had the flu and my mother came around to do my laundry. And I climbed through the time my girlfriend cheated on me. I climbed because I was sick of this dark room. I climbed to make my mother proud. And as I climbed, The darkness subsided, opening itself to light. I could see where the ladder ended now. I could see my way out. As I placed my hand on the last rung of the ladder, I pulled myself up over the edge. I was overcome by brightness. The light subsided, and as I got my bearings, I found myself on my back in my bathtub, still clenching the razor blade. Urgent knocking on my bathroom door roused me from my daze. "Are you all right in there? Your sister called. We're worried about you." It was my mother's voice. I got up out of the bathtub and placed the razor blade back on the shelf, walking towards the door. As I flung it open, she looked at me. She looked at me and knew. She held me in her arms and we sobbed. "I wouldn't know how to live without you," she whimpered. My climb had just begun. So, for those who didn't get it, this person was going to commit suicide, and that was basically like what they were imagining was happening before they heard their mother. There was the one part that said kill her, like why would it even matter or something like that. And that was them thinking, in my opinion, I think it's them thinking like, oh, people wouldn't care if I wasn't here, so what's the point of me staying, kind of thing. And then kind of touched on it a little bit, saying my climbed past when my girlfriend cheated on me, so that would have obviously been a hard time that they would have had to overcome, and just something they were dealing with. They chose the razor blade in the little vision because that's what they were planning on using to end themselves. And yeah, I don't really know what to say other than that was very well written. And life is a journey, it is a climb, and we will eventually get to the top. We will eventually get to where we need to be, but it takes some work sometimes. This story was, in a way, hauntingly beautiful, because it does show that you can overcome these things. You can make your life better for yourself. And I truly believe that is what people should try to do. Try and make it good for them. Try to make it better for them. You may, right now, feel like you are at rock bottom, but if you are at rock bottom, the only way to go from there is up. And believe me when I say things do get better. Where I am now in my point of life is not where I would have thought that I would have been a year ago, 2 years ago. But 4 years ago from right now is really when my life had hit rock bottom. And if I hadn't made it through everything that I made it through 4 years ago, I wouldn't be living the incredible life that I am now. And I want everyone to know that it does get better and you will make it through. Suicide is not the answer. You do have people who love you, even if it may not seem like it all the time. Reach out to someone, even if it is a stranger. You can reach out to me. I am almost always on my phone. I check my Twitter, I check my Instagram, I check my Snapchat. If you need someone to talk to, I will try and be there for you as best as I can. Talk you through everything. And I'm someone you don't know, so I'm not going to be biased one way or another, you know, I guess. But if you need someone, please reach out to them or me or anyone who is there. You can talk to an adult, you can talk to a counselor, like, just find someone. Yeah, but that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed this story. This is one I'm definitely gonna have to give another read through because it was just, I thought it was incredible. But yeah, subscribe to me if you guys want to see more content, as well as like this video if you did enjoy it. And I hope you guys get something from my message at the end. Reach out to someone if it's the other way, you know, you don't know who is struggling until it's too late sometimes. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.